waived injured offensive lineman Coda Martin. Back out there today, got some more situational work, 2-minute, down 2 at the end of the game, and I thought we executed good offensively. A little bogus call by Riz on the illegal substitution, but listen, you never know what's going to happen in the game. We've had a few bad calls around here at times, so fire away with your questions.
Was that heat an issue today, would you say?
I don't think so. I mean, it was hot, but I think our guys are really kind of acclimated to it, so I don't think it's as much of a factor.
Will that be the last outside practice you probably have of this training camp here?
Well, I wouldn't say the last one, but we're not gonna be outside a lot if it stays as hot as it is right now.
Dennis has a report about looking for other training camp opportunities next year. Has this camp, and look, it's been crazy record heat, not just New Orleans heat, but even by our standards, it's been hot. Does this sort of like tell you maybe it's not meant to be here, or how do you feel about it?
I don't think the heat's really the big factor. We've got an indoor facility that we can work out in. I think there's the potential for us to be doing some renovations on the facility, and so nothing's been determined, nothing's set in stone, but yeah, it's something that we might consider.
Dennis, with that being said, if it's still hot when the Texans come to town and you have basically 2 practices at once, aren't you almost forced maybe those couple of days to be outside?
Well, I think we're going to practice outside for one day, and we may go to the Dome for another day. We were thinking about you with that, Bobby, you know what I mean?
Yes, I love the AC.
Do you have like a preference? You've been here for the Greenbrier and Millsaps and getting away and being here. Do you have like a preference?
Not Millsaps. not Millsaps, but yeah, look, I mean, that's a long way away, so we'll cross that bridge when we come to it, but there's a lot of stuff that has to happen between now and then.
Are there soft tissue considerations about practicing indoors?
Not really. I think the soft tissue, generally you think of it a little bit more in terms of being outside, hydration, being able to replenish all your fluids. So I think that's a little bit more of a challenge. And then really we're just talking about load management, and there's a lot that goes into that scientifically. I don't want to get into that because that's really not my area, but yet that's an area that I pay a lot of attention to, and trying to look. You're going to have soft tissue injuries. It's training camp. You got to be able to get your work done, and there's a lot of work that has to be done. So it's part of it. We're trying to minimize it as much as we can.
Has it been more than normal this year?
It's actually been less than normal.
Dennis, we asked you about Jordan Howard the other day, but what is it that makes him a good fit for that dime role? I know you've been getting a lot of looks in the first time.
Yeah, look, I think we're trying to throw a lot at him to see how much he can handle. That position, has to be, it's really more of a sub down position, more of a passing down position, and so there's some coverage flexibility that you're allowed when you have the extra DB on the field, and so we're gonna look at some guys that maybe can fill that role for us. That's a role that Tyron's filled for us in the past, and we're going to continue to look to see if there's anybody that can help in that area.
And then along the same lines, I mean, I know Zach Vaughn has probably gotten a lot of snaps based on seniority and experience, but is he taking advantage of them, and is he earning?
Yeah, look, I think Zach's done a really good job. I think his best fit right now is at the Sam linebacker position. When we drafted him, we knew that he could play that. I think we're still a little bit of a work in progress off the ball. And look, I would say this: I'm looking to see who's the next off the ball backer behind DeMario and Pete. And I don't have that answer right now. So that's what this training camp's about, and that's what the preseason games are going to be about.
Yeah. We haven't talked about a lot. Lonnie Johnson, does his versatility, obviously he's played outside, he's played safety, does his versatility make him kind of an attractive fit in this position?
Yeah, look, he's a guy he's made some splash plays in this camp. And so I like his athleticism, I like his size, I like his range, and he's, you know, the key for him really is going to be getting the defense down pat, you know, to where you trust putting him in different situations. And so from an athletic standpoint, he's fully capable of doing anything that we ask him to do. You know, and now it's how much can he absorb and how much can he retain to where he's out there on game day being able to do more than just one job.
Dennis, would you say Malcolm Roach has had a good camp at this point? How would you sort of say where he is maybe in his career and how he's done?
Yeah, look, I think he's had a good camp. You know, he gives us a little bit of athleticism at the nose position, rather than just the big, stout A-gap to A-gap player. He's a guy that does have some versatility in that he can play nose, he can play three, and he's got, you know, for a nose, he's got some pass rush ability. So I like where he's at. He's probably a little bit lighter than where he's been in the past, probably a little quicker than where he's been in the past. He's a guy that man, he just comes to work every day and he works his tail off, and he's gotten a lot better.
Have you been happy overall with the inside D-line group?
Yeah, look, I've been happy with the D-line group overall. I think we're playing stout in there. You know, I think we've got some guys that have some ability to rush the passer inside, and I think that's a really important thing in our league, having guys that can rush the passer inside, get the quarterback off the spot, not let the quarterback step up, and so I've been pleased with that.
Are you more explosive in the interior than you maybe have been?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. I think we're a little more athletic than where we've been in the past.
Is there a trade-off with that in run defense or no?
No, because I think we didn't go out and get just a bunch of little guys that are quick and explosive. We've got, you know, big guys that still can play with power. So, but they've got the ability. They've got a little more twitch and a little more athleticism inside than what we probably had.
Dennis, it seems like today was the most involved Jimmy Graham's been in the pass catcher in camp. Is that just kind of how it worked out, or have you all been kind of trying to ramp him up to see more from him?
Well, yeah, I think part of it is getting him ramped up. You know, he didn't play all last season, and you know, he's you know, you kind of got to get your legs back into football shape, which I think he's getting back to that spot. And so, look, we've said this before. You know, you don't have to see it every day out of some of these veteran guys, but at some point we got to see it. And so it's nice to see you know, him show up today, and hopefully that'll continue.
Same with Taysom. He seemed to get a lot of balls today. Was that by design or just came out that way?
Well, look, in all of our practices, you know, we pay attention to how we're designing the plays and who we're putting in certain spots and where we think the ball might go. But at the end of the day, the coverage dictates where the ball goes. And that's when we've been at our best, when we just read it out as the coverage tells us to read it out, put the ball where it's supposed to go, and let our playmakers go make plays.
D, what have you seen from Shaq Davis so far throughout training camp?
Yeah, look, I think, you know, long, rangy, athletic receiver. I think he's still learning the playbook, and so I think he's a little behind in that area. But I like the skill set, and I like his athleticism. He's got to come on with the playbook and make sure he's in the right spots when he's supposed to be there.
Hey Dennis, just for the preseason, I know Hayner seems like he's had a good camp. Is it inconceivable to think that a rookie could be the backup in front of a veteran who's got a ton of experience, or is it just a flat-out competition?
Yeah, look, I wouldn't get into all the hypotheticals. I mean, there's nothing inconceivable, but we'll let the preseason play out. I like where we're at the quarterback room. I think we got 4 guys in our building that, you know, can go out and win a game at the quarterback position for us. That includes Taysom Hill, so that's a good feeling to have. All right, guys, thanks.
Thanks, Dennis.
Thanks, Ian.